Hello and welcome to today's video on making a great SAT study schedule. My name is Rishabh Jain, I'm your host, and I made a variety of SAT study content that students have absolutely loved. I'm going to show you why. I want you to meet Larry, Barry, and Terry. Larry's at the top. He has the test 3+ months away. He's watching this YouTube video because he's a disciplined guy. He's currently a chill cucumber, despite the fact that there's a watermarked chill emoji over here. Barry is taking the SAT in 1 to 2 months and is currently debating whether he should enroll in his local Ultimate SAT Guide study schedule near him, which costs thousands of dollars. But other than that, is kind of vibing. Terry is eating cold pizza because he's stress eating and is also just grinding through sections right now, wondering if he should enroll in some sort of course. And he's just absolutely worried about what he should do for the SAT. Now, despite what type of student you are in, what type of situation you're in, I'm going to give you an error logging sheet, practice questions, and an example timetable of exactly what to do for your SAT. So first, let's go through the example of Larry. Larry has around 3+ months, so month one should really be focusing on fundamentals. This is nailing down grammar rules, basic algebra, geometry, and developing reading comprehension strategies. I have a dedicated video for Desmos math hacks. Now, due to the digital SAT, you can actually use Desmos for almost all of the math questions, and I show you how to solve almost every single one just using the Desmos built-in graphing calculator. The video is doing exceptionally well, so check out the description. I also have an SAT grammar rules video. So this is where you really start to build your fundamentals for these types of content, because that's what's going to raise your score. That's like the brunt of the actual score raising. But to really crack that extra level of score you're trying to achieve, those last like 40, 50 points you want to get into the specific college you're aiming for, and you're looking at their average score, that's where you have to start to incorporate daily practice questions. I recommend you track every single mistake you make in a study logger. Now, I was in your shoes just a couple years ago when I was taking the ACT, SAT myself, and I had tons of friends try a bunch of different strategies, enrolling in expensive prep courses, yada, yada, yada. But what worked best was doing daily practice questions. Once you get the fundamentals down, which you can learn just through YouTube videos, just reading some of those simple books, after that, you just have to grind through practice questions. Mark every single mistake you make in a study logger and reflect on why you made that mistake. You'll notice that the types of questions they ask you are really restricted to these different sets of categories. And over time, you'll develop such a strong intuition that you'll know exactly what type of question the SAT is trying to ask you there. And you should do at least one full-length practice test every single weekend. If you do this over the course of 3 months, you'll have taken at least 12 full-length practice tests, and you'll start to develop test-taking strategies. I'm talking not bubbling until the very end of the SAT, or taking a cold shower on the morning of your exam. These little trivial things that might sound a little bit funny actually do contribute to those last 10, 20 points that you'll gain on your SAT. Now here is my ultimate error logging template. I'll leave the link in the description down below. That's why it says link copied over here. But as you can see, I want you to log the source of your test, the section that it was, like reading versus writing language, math, etc., the page number, if that's applicable, the question number, what was the correct answer and what was your answer, and finally, the most important part, your lessons learned. I have some tips here for trying to elucidate why your answer choice was correct or incorrect and so forth. But before we get into that, the best way you can actually improve, once again, is to do practice. And I've partnered with Acely AI to bring this to you. Acely AI has the world's unrivaled SAT preparation question bank. As you can see by this bar chart over here, which you may have to interpret a few of those on the actual SAT, Acely has a ton of verified practice questions, over 5,200. And if you can get through even just a good portion of those, you will be set for your SAT, because that's, again, what's really important is grinding through those practice questions. This test is not super indicative of actual real-world intelligence as to just your ability to study for this exam. In addition to this, something I really love about Acely is their ability to allow you to take diagnostic exams and get your projected score. At the end of the day, the SAT is only as hard as you want it to be, right? If you want to get into a top college, you need that score, then that's the score you're going for. If you're going for your state level university, the scores are often lower. That's the score you're going for. There's no shame in any of this. You just need to go for your goal and your projected score, and their tool to allow you to take a diagnostic exam eliminates a lot of that stress because you don't have to take the test multiple times. You just have to know what your projected score is, how much you have to improve, and you can plan accordingly. In addition to that, as you can see over here on the right-hand side, they also do offer those full-length exams, as well as this AI tool that tailors questions to you. So you can choose the difficulty of the question that you want and start to complete daily practice questions. Once we get into Barry and Terry, I'll show you exactly what I mean by those specific amounts of daily practice questions. I'll leave a link to Acely in the description below. Because I've partnered with them, they're offering you $10 off on their plans and also a free trial. So you can always try it out and cancel if you don't like it. Check them out in the description below, and let's get into Barry's plan. Time is ticking now. You need to start to do daily practice if you're Barry. Try to do 2 to 3 practice tests a week because you don't have that time to just do one a week for a longer period of time. So I'd recommend you do a ton of these per week and focus on the specific question types that you bomb the most. So don't waste time on areas you've mastered. I think this is a mistake that I and pretty much everyone has in history has made when you're studying for exams, right? Like you're really confident about this type of question, so you just do a bunch of them and you feel good about yourself, but you don't focus on your weakest area. So make sure you focus a lot more on those specific question types rather than just reviewing, like you're spending a month of your time just reviewing content from algebra when you already know most of that. You should try to do 20 to 40 questions a day in addition to these practice tests. I know it's a lot, but I'll show you an example study schedule that I created for you where you can actually bake this into time, whether you have to go to school, do all these extracurriculars, and still have time to study. Also, once again, log your mistakes religiously in that sheet. Link is in the description. This will help you drill specific weaknesses for the next day. When you practice again, you'll remember that and start to develop a strong intuition. And finally, developing TTT, test taking tips. This is just really, really important. You need to figure out pacing. This is the most common thing I hear from students. They take the SAT the first time and they just never took a full length practice exam beforehand. So they don't know what the pacing is like. They accidentally slowed down a little bit on the reading section, and just like that, bam, their score is ruined. You need to really develop TTT and pacing by just taking a bunch of these practice tests and developing those personalized strategies for you, whether that's bubbling at the end or tackling certain passages or flagging questions for later, things like that. So let me walk you through this example study plan. And I know my camera is blocking the bottom right, but this is just an example for you to develop your own. I want you to open a Google Sheet. Everyone knows how to do that, right? Or open a notepad and start jotting this stuff down. Whether you have time before school, after school, or in the evening, I'm just asking for around 1 to 2 hours every day for your practice in regardless of what scenario you're in. If you're able to review a key grammar rule on Tuesdays, skim a reading passage on Wednesdays, do reading vocab and context questions on Thursdays, and develop a plan just like this to target the specific areas of the exam you need to improve on, I guarantee your score will improve. I have personal anecdotes from friends who are really, really struggling, but as soon as they actually sat down, did the hard part of making a plan, and then doing the error logging religiously on a daily basis, it's hard to do that. But once you do that, your score will start to improve pretty rapidly. Finally, I want to get into Terry. I know there's probably a decent number of you who are watching this a week or two before your exam, and you're wondering, how do I study? You are really studying at the last minute, but just for a hint, I was actually Terry myself. So you're not alone. It's crunch time now, so you have to be ruthless. You can't fix everything, but you need to prioritize your biggest weaknesses. You're probably not going to ace the exam, but you can get really, really close to doing that. So I want you to do 20 to 30 practice questions a day minimum, plus 2 to 3 timed practice sessions per day. The reason behind this is because I know on weekdays, students have a ton of extracurriculars or sports or stuff like that. So on weekdays, you're probably not going to be able to sit down for a full length exam. But what you can do is timed practice sections where you're actually still going to be able to develop those test taking strategies. And then on weekends, focus more on doing full length exams. As you can see here, you can try to do one practice test, but I've also just kind of split that up into the practice sections. If you can do 14 practice tests, I know this is pretty hard. If you can do 14 practice tests worth of questions, whether that's through the Acely AI question bank or through full-length practice exams or through time practice sections, you'll rapidly improve your score. It's really just about that practice. And also reviewing your errors the same day, because you probably won't have a ton of time to be reviewing errors longitudinally in the future. But if you just review it on the same day, that will hopefully create enough of a memory in your head, short term memory for the actual test date in 1 or 2 weeks. Now, strategies I want you to incorporate, whether you're Larry, Barry, or Terry. One is the rule of three. So for every practice test mistake, and this is actually a tip I got from a friend who scored super high on the SAT, a 1590, identify three things. One is why you got it wrong. So that's pretty obvious. But two, the correct approach. So envision an actual strategy. If you were reading that question again, how would you actually go about solving it? It's harder to do this for the reading comprehension, especially because there's not just this strict formula you plug this into, right? Or whether or not you knew it, but rather it's like, I need to approach the passage in a certain way. But that's the true beauty of it. Of when you jot that down, you will start to develop this strong intuition for how to approach that type of question. So the next time you encounter it, you'll know exactly how to do it. And exactly that's what the third step is, how to avoid it in the future. The next is to create a mini cheat sheet. Now, I offer cheat sheets myself. I'll put some in the description myself for you to check out. But that is not always the key. You want to develop your own cheat sheet. And that's why teachers will always tell you, yeah, you can use your friend's cheat sheet, but what's actually more helpful is just you making your own cheat sheet. So I want you to make a one-page summary of grammar rules that are helpful for you specifically, because some people will be really strong with M dashes, but won't be strong on colons and semicolons, right? And so forth. And review your cheat sheet every day for like just 5 minutes, just like glance at it, and you'll start to develop a strong memory for it. I also want you to alternate focus days. So this is something that you'll start to develop if you study for the SAT for months. And I've heard this advice from like literally hundreds of thousands of you who watch my YouTube videos, is alternating between sections. And you may have seen that in my study schedule, like Monday math, Tuesday reading, writing, and so forth. If you have a ton of time, you can do this and also do your full length practice test separately, or your half length test or whatever. That way you kind of keep your mind fresh and develop strategies for the different sections and avoid burnout of just mindlessly doing full length exams over and over again, because it's really hard to do like more than just one full length exam in a day. Incredibly hard to do it. And finally, leverage active recall. This is a mistake I see so many students make, which is just rereading rules and explanations again and again. So they'll take my cheat sheets that I offer in the description, read through those, and just revise it again and again. Do not do that. You should actively be quizzing yourself on the concepts. And I'm sure all of you know this because you're students, you've studied before. So the final resources I have for you are these two videos. I genuinely think that these are probably even more helpful than this video in terms of tangibly improving your score. The SAT Math Desmos hack, in 14 minutes, I go through literally using Desmos to solve almost every question on SAT Math. And then over here on the right-hand side, I go through every SAT grammar rule, which is super helpful as well. The videos have gone kind of viral on YouTube, so I think you'll really enjoy them. So make sure to check them out. And also make sure to check out the sponsor of the video, Acely. They've been a huge supporter of the channel, and I really think you'll find the resources helpful. See you guys next time.